St. Louis, and I thank you, Madam Chair, for convening this important hearing today. In my community in Missouri's first district, we face horrifying radioactive pollution, racist gun violence, and a dangerous shortage of affordable housing, all of which are made worse when our government too often fails to conduct adequate oversight. With this in mind, we are eager to do that work today and make clear the urgent need for accountability and transparency, especially in the aftermath of the Trump administration, who eroded integrity and trust in our government. Ms. Hempowitz, you testified at a subcommittee hearing on government operations last month. During that hearing, the chair of the Council of Inspectors General on Integrity and Efficiency, Allison Lerner, testified, quote, currently the government employees can avoid speaking with OIG auditors, inspectors, or investigators by quitting or retiring prior to being interviewed. Ms. Hempowitz, how big of a thing is this? Like, how often are retirement or resignation used to avoid questioning?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for the question. It is much more common than you would think. I encourage members of this committee to just page through inspectors general reports. One, they're fascinating, but two, you'll often see, we couldn't complete this investigation because the person left government and wouldn't answer our questions. It's an illogical limit to these inspectors general for the ability to do their jobs. And I will just highlight, because Mr. Smith has raised that he has concerns about how they would exercise the subpoena authority. I want to just highlight that the Department of Defense Inspector General has testimonial subpoena authority. So does the Pandemic Response Accountability Committee. So does the Special Inspector General for Pandemic Recovery. And we have not seen those inspectors general abusing this authority. I would also highlight that under the provisions of the law in front of Congress right now that would institute for-cause removal protections for inspectors general, abusing subpoena authority would absolutely fit under the abuse of authority provision there, allowing the president to remove an inspector general.
Thank you. Thank you. So Vice Chair Gomez introduced legislation, which is also included in Chairwoman Maloney's IG Independence and Empowerment Act, to grant this authority. The testimonial subpoena authority, of course, to the inspectors general. So Ms. Hempowitz, how does the inability to compel testimony from former government employees hinder the work of the inspectors general and their ability to fully investigate matters?
It completely undermines their ability to conduct fulsome investigations. And it's not just former government employees who have left service that are left out of inspector general, their jurisdiction, because of the lack of this testimonial subpoena authority. They're also limited when they're reaching out to, when they're asking questions of government contractors and subcontractors. And we've seen just how exponential the potential for waste is, utilizing government contractors and overutilizing government contractors. And so I think this limit to IG authority should be concerning to members of both sides of the aisle.
I agree. Okay. Do you have any concerns about, so first of all, let me just say thank you for, you did talk about who does have the testimonial subpoena authority, but do you have any concerns about retaliation against lower level employees if we were to expand this power?
No, I don't think so. I mean, lower level employees are, I guess if they're in government right now, they are under the IG's jurisdiction. But I also think, there's another proposal in front of the committee, and I apologize, there's just so many bills and I can't keep track of the name, that would increase transparency around how the Integrity Committee within SIGI investigates IGs for wrongdoing. And so I think if there were instances where we saw this authority being abused, those changes to the Integrity Committee process would help bring those to light. But I also hope that by passing whistleblower protections and strengthening those whistleblower protections, you would also be hearing from whistleblowers who could more safely then raise those concerns to Congress.
Thank you. And Allison Lerner, the chair of the Council of the Inspectors General on Integrity and Efficiency, also told the subcommittee last month, and I quote, frequently having the authority means that you don't have to use it. So in situations of voluntary cooperation follows instead of the need to compel cooperation. So Ms. Hempowitz, the Inspector General Access Act is another proposed reform that would close the loophole How would the Bipartisan Inspector General Access Act improve investigations into misconduct by federal attorneys?
Oh, thank you for that question. It would make that oversight independent. Right now, oversight over Department of Justice attorneys accused of misconduct is done by an office called the Office of Professional Responsibility within DOJ. That is not at all independent, so it's within the agency's chain of command.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.